Welcome back, friends, to another episode of Invictus Pro Wrestling Power Hour. We're back after a very brief hiatus. I'm Alex Facetta. Joining me is Nick Goutman. Ryan Gross is with us in spirit tonight. But with us virtually in person is the Invictus Pro Wrestling Junior Senior Official.
That's right.
And this is Mr. Tyler TKO Kocenko.
What's up, guys? Crazy to be here. I've been watching the show the past month or so, and appreciate you guys wanting me on. And so let's do this.
Yeah, we're trying to get all the different perspectives of the wrestling business on. Obviously, we have a lot of in-ring talent, but we had
Right.
Peterson on a couple weeks ago, and we had Brandon, of course, who's behind our cameras. So now we got to get a zebra in here.
That's right.
Yeah.
The better zebra.
The better zebra, yes. Longtime viewers of this show will know, and fans of Invictus know the long-standing rivalry between our two referees.
Can't stand that guy.
So maybe we'll get Mano on here to give his sort of rebuttal at some point after this.
You know what's funny? He actually a while back he told me that he wanted us both to be on at the same time so we could just argue. So if you do have him on, you should have me come in and just
nice. We'll do it like Jerry Springer. We won't tell him that you're going to be on. We'll just be like, well, we have another special guest waiting.
Right.
It'll be like a promo class. Like you guys just have to go back and forth just to see who gets the best stuff.
Oh yeah, I destroy him. He's
Yep. Good stuff. So Tyler, we have some questions for you.
All right.
Should we call you Tyler or TKO? I'd like to address you while we're on the air.
I honestly, I don't care. I'll go either or. I mean, I'm
gonna say Tyler because
all right. Yeah,
I'm gonna say Tyler because it's one less syllable, right? TKO, Tyler. Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna call you Tyler the Creator, or Tyler the.
Never heard that before. Yeah. That's creative.
Yeah, sure it is. Tyler the Destroyer. That's your wrestling. That's your wrestling name right there. Boom.
Wow.
That
gave me my my new gimmick, just like you gave Chris his new gimmick.
Yeah, absolutely. So Tyler, first question that we ask all of our guests. So hopefully you've done your homework here. How did you first become a fan of this lovely business of professional wrestling?
Well, so it was about 2007, I want to say. It's pretty similar to Gio's story, if anybody watched Gio's. So when I was going to daycare, there was these bunch of kids coming in, and they had the PSP, and they had SmackDown versus Raw. So I got into it from the video game, and I was like, oh, what's this video game? And they showed me a match, and it was back when you could do like guys versus girls, and they had Rey Mysterio do a 619 on one of like the divas, and you know how I like Spider-Man, so I saw this masked guy do this cool move, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. So Rey was like my first favorite, and then they brought like the toys and stuff, and I was a little kid, so I got into it that way. And then one day I just saw it on TV, and luckily enough, Rey Mysterio was on the TV. So, I just started watching ever since like 2007, like end of 2007. So that's how I got into it.
Yeah, that's right. That's interesting. I guess there are more people than I would have thought who got into it like through the video games first.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like it makes sense. Like you're over at your friend's house or something, and
exactly.
But that's cool. Yeah, Rey was like probably my first favorite too. But I got into it a little earlier. But
he's great.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Still going out to this day.
I know.
Like he never missed a beat.
And he's got his like, it's crazy too, like seeing, because you know I was watching it back when you know his son was like little, the whole like custody of Dominic.
The bleach
Dude,
hair.
you know something that's so funny? I've gotten this so many times. People think I look like his son. I don't know if you guys see it, but I've gotten it like
I
a
can't
lot more
actually.
than I wanted to get that.
You're kind of fucking it up a bit with the beard now, but yeah,
Right. No,
if you're
yeah.
clean shaven,
Exactly.
yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, when I had like a smaller beard, I got it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
And you know, people then in turn say that Dominic Mysterio looks like Walter. So I would take that as a compliment if you're trying to be a wrestler, because
Oh, okay.
it was
Big Walter.
big Walter. Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. So what then? So we'll get to how you actually got, you know, into training in a moment. But for you, there was something very critical that happened in between when you first became a fan and when you started training, which is that you started your YouTube channel, TKO Kocenko. So tell us a little bit about how that got started.
Yeah, so I don't know. I've always been into YouTube and just watching random videos. And then, of course, since I like wrestling, I would watch wrestling YouTube videos. And I would watch guys like, there's these guys I used to watch, Salt and Battery, 777, Stevie Breach, a bunch of their friends, Grimm's Toy Show. Just some names that I would watch, just wrestling-related YouTube videos. And I would see them like go to these like wrestling shows and like show their collections and whatnot. So I've always like liked doing videos, but like once I was able to like actually like film it and edit it, be able to edit it, like I mean I only really use my my iPhone. I mean that's all I really use. I would use my like laptop and stuff too when I first started, but like I don't really have any like special equipment, but I used what I could, and I just enjoyed doing videos and vlogging. I still vlog today. I don't do it as much, but I try to do videos still to this day, wrestling related, and yeah, that's how I got started.
I was gonna say some of those vlogs, especially like the ones that you've done from our shows, have to be a little time consuming to put together. But I love like, you know, long form content like that. That's what we do on this show.
That's right.
Yeah, but yeah, it's really cool. I mean, I always love seeing people, you know, follow their passion. And it's always cool too to see like somebody who, because you've been YouTubing now. When did you start your channel? About
I think I started that channel in like 2014, but I always like made like stupid little videos since I was like 12. So, but I think I started that channel specifically in 2014.
Okay. So yeah, so I mean you've been doing this now for a while, so it's always cool to see like the evolution you know, of like the production value, I guess you call it, of like, you know,
Right.
who's been doing it for a while. Yeah, so that's really really interesting. Hopefully you can teach us your ways as we grow our YouTube platform a little bit.
I'll try my best, you know. I'm not no like expert, you know,
Yeah,
but
no.
I know some tricks, you know, whatnot, what to do.
Got you. We're doing all right for ourselves. What are we at? Like
Yeah, you're doing all right.
Like
You're doing
300
pretty good.
subscribers, Nick?
Yeah, you guys are growing
Okay.
a lot more than I was when I first started. It took me like a year or two to get 100. So
Yeah.
Once you crack the algorithm, once you open that Pandora's
that
box.
algorithm, oh my goodness.
So yeah, so you already were an established YouTuber, and then you made the decision to start training to actually enter the wrestling business. So how did that come about?
Yeah, so it's funny. So I was always going to like wrestling shows and like meetings, wrestlers and whatnot. And I actually went to this like signing in it was in like Waterbury or something a few years ago. I actually vlogged this. It was like 2016. I met Velvet Sky and Bubba Ray, who's now my coach. So yeah, I met them at like a signing, and I mentioned to him that I wanted to be a wrestler, and he thought that was really cool. And I said I was going to go to the one in Florida, and I guess like a few months later, like mid 2017, he started a school here in Connecticut. So I was like, well, I don't have to move all the way to Florida now once I graduate high school. And so I got all my like wrestling like fandom out of the way, like traveling the shows and whatnot. And I finally saved up enough money to go to actually train and, you know, do this as a career, hopefully one day. But I'm still training, doing pretty good. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. But yeah, I started in 2019, and been crazy ride.
Yeah, man. Wow. Do you ever like think that you were the reason why they started the Connecticut Team 3D? Like
No,
what if that conversation was what inspired them to do that?
that'd be pretty funny, but yeah, I don't know. I because Bubba lives in Connecticut, and so I don't know how much he was going to the Florida school. So I'm sure, because he loves teaching, so I'm sure that was already wrong. But that,
Our story's better.
yeah.
Go with our story.
Yep. So that's cool. So I mean, tell us a little bit more. I mean, you know, I know like what, you know, goes on at school is sacred, but to the extent that you can, I guess, tell us a little bit about like what, because I feel like, you know, a lot of you mentioned before like how, you know, you went, you got all your fandom out of the way and you went from being a fan to actually starting to train. And I'm sure that there's a lot of fans out there that have had that thought. So what actually like does the training entail, like as far as, you know, like is it physically demanding? Like what kind of stuff they have you doing there?
Yeah, like it's a big culture shock. Like, I mean, of course it's not easy, but like once you really get in there, then you really like understand like what it actually takes and like the ins and outs. I mean, you guys, you run a promotion now, so you kind of have an idea how it works. But yeah, like once you actually get in there, like your whole mindset on wrestling changes. I mean, of course, everybody's still a fan, you know, like,
Yeah,
I
of
mean, you
course.
wouldn't be a wrestler if you weren't like a fan. I mean, you know, there's scenarios where they didn't really grow up watching, but for the most part, you're pretty much a fan if you want to do this for a living. So everybody goes in as a fan pretty much, but your level of fandom kind of changes because you look at wrestling different and you start watching wrestling different. Especially with Bubba, because he's made it, you know, and there's a lot of trainers out there who kind of like, you know, just rob you for your money, you know. So if there's anybody out there that wants to be a wrestler, go to like a credible person that's actually like made it. They know what they're talking about, because Bubba, Tommy Dreamer, and our other head coach, Randy Shawn, they've done it. They know what they're talking about. So yeah, when I started going there and they started teaching me about everything, it definitely changed my mindset, and it's definitely tough. Like, especially like when COVID ended, or when it started, we took like, I think it was like a 6-month break, you know? So like getting back in there was like really rough, and like ring rust is a real thing. So yeah, it's I give it to the people that, you know, like the WWE guys that do it week in, week out. I mean, eventually I want to get to that level, but obviously I'm not there yet. So yeah, it's crazy.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned this before, but I always found it so fascinating that like, you know, the head trainers at that school, you know, Bubba and Tommy Dreamer, you know, they're so well known for that, like, you know, hardcore like ECW style, but
Right.
their training method and their approach to training is so like conservative, and like they're really all about like the fundamentals. Like I remember when Gio started training and we were talking about it, like, you know, like he didn't step foot in a ring until he was like more than 6 months into training, which is, you know, crazy. But it shows, I mean, in, you know, not only him, but all the Team 3D guys. I mean, there's a reason why we keep booking them, right? It's like they're,
Right.
the training speaks for itself. They're, you know, they can have a match with the best of them.
Yeah, because the way they do it, we take it like slow. You know, we want to make sure you know what you're doing before you get to the next level. Like a lot of schools I see like online, like I'll see videos, and they're like in the ring like the first day, you know, like just doing these like crazy things. Like we take it slow and, you know, make sure you know how to do this to get to this level. And then once you start doing that, then you get to the next level. And then eventually, you know, you're able to work on shows like Invictus and other avenues, House of Hardcore or whatnot. So, yeah, they really like, they take each step of wrestling, and you start like chaining, and then you get into the ring, and then you learn all the basic stuff in the ring, and then you start having matches. So
Right.
it's a gradual pace, and yeah, it's they teach you the basics before you do crazy shit, and yeah, so.
Well, that's awesome, man. I mean, you definitely picked the right place, it sounds like.
Yeah, and I lucked out with it being, because I live in Danbury and the school's in Danbury, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty lucky, because some of the guys drive like an hour or two. You know, they live in like New York, or my buddy John lives in Massachusetts, so they make the drive. So I give it to them.
Yeah, that's wild. I never realized, like, because I'm just the kind of person, like, coming from New York, I just like, I hear Connecticut and I just assume everything's near each other. But like Clippers from Hartford, and I looked at
Yeah,
it, like, wow, I was like, that's nowhere near Danbury. Like,
yeah, he drives an hour too.
yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's wild. But it shows, shows your guys' commitment um, to getting better and improving. So yeah, so you're obviously, as you know, part of your training, you're now a working referee with us at Invictus. Do you have any particular? Because you've now done 3 shows for us, if you include the taping that we did in December.
right.
Do you have any like favorite matches or moments that you have been involved in with us?
Yeah, I've enjoyed every one, but that casket match was pretty interesting, to say the least. I know we had some issues with the.
Yep.
That was like my first like I guess gimmick match,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Well,
And
it was funny
guys,
afterwards was trying to get in the truck. That was
what was that?
the best part was afterwards was trying to get in the truck.
Right. Yeah.
That was a
Yeah,
fight.
man.
No,
Yeah,
the
so
best
that
part
was.
afterwards was what none of you guys saw, which was me returning it to my uncle and trying to explain that there was a giant dent in it. Like,
Yeah, your like main thing was it's already like wrecked, so don't wreck it even more. And like the first thing we open it, and it just like.
But also,
fell apart.
as soon as Dorian goes in, you just like see it sink in.
the bottom,
Right.
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Oh.
pretty bad. But my dad and I actually worked on it a little bit before we gave it back to my uncle. We we braced the bottom and we rehooked the hinges and stuff. So it was passable by the time we returned it.
Yeah. So yeah, so there was that, and then I enjoyed doing the women's match, because that was my first women's match reffing at the tapings. The whole tournament was fun, you know, doing that all in one day. That was the most I definitely reffed in like one day. I haven't got much experience reffing. Like pretty much your guys' like shows were like my first. I did do some reffing in 2019 at the Keystone Comic Con, because for that, it was special because it was just the guys at Team 3D, and then Tommy. He did 2 matches. So he just booked the Team 3D guys. So like John did the announcing, me and Clip did the reffing, and then the rest of the guys just had matches all weekend. So, and they were flipping from baby to heel. So that was pretty funny but they were Comic-Con fans, you know, so they didn't really know. There were some wrestling fans obviously there to meet, like Tommy Dreamer and whatnot, but a lot of them were just Comic-Con fans just trying to have a good time. So that was fun. But your guys' shows was definitely like, and that was like a year after, so like it was like restarting, you know, like reffing for the first time again. So it was exciting doing that first show. And then we got in Bloom in April with a ladder match. So that's
gonna be interesting. We might need you to like hold the ladder in place.
I thought about that.
Hold up while they run up. Yeah, it's not gonna be WWE ladders, I don't think, but you know,
we'll do our best.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But yeah, definitely more gimmick matches up the pipes. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Like a lot of other indie promotions like get flack for, you know, using trainees as their refs. But well, first of all, I mean, it's like you got to know what the hell you're doing. And, you know,
right.
I know that you and, you know, John is, you know, like I said, you've built on the fundamentals and you've been, you know, in training for a while. But also, like, I do think it's important because it's a great hands-on, you know, opportunity to learn about the psychology of a match. You know, the referee is the third person in that match, you know, and they're just as much a part of the storytelling as the wrestlers are. So, you know, it's a great learning opportunity, but it's also like, you know, like, yeah, like in theory, a good wrestler should also be able to ref.
Right.
You need to understand all those different aspects of the business.
Yeah, like well, we actually have a ref now, like just a straight ref, like training right now. He just started, but yeah, like when we're wrestling around there, we need a ref, you know. So we kind of have to we just automatically like learn that pretty much everybody how to ref, and so when Gio mentioned that, you know, Invictus was starting, they needed refs. You know, me and John threw our hat in. And because we pretty much were reffing like every week, because we weren't having matches really yet, we were just reffing and rolling around. So, you know, like if an opportunity is there, you know, you gotta take it. So, and like you said, like if you want to be a wrestler, you should know all the aspects. So being a ref actually like helped me know how like guys put their matches together. Like when I first started reffing at that House of Hardcore show, I watched the guys like call their match and they tell me like the spots and whatnot. So it definitely does help an up and coming wrestler like know what to do and tell the ref where to be and like positioning and whatnot. So it definitely does help. So
yeah, and it's also good, you know, networking opportunities, I think, because you know, we book guys on our shows from all over, so it's a good opportunity for you, you know, while you're still in training to kind of expand beyond just your circle. But yeah, well, that's awesome. So going back a little bit, I usually have stuff written down for these interviews, but I'm kind of just doing it off the cuff. But I did just want to go back a little bit. Yeah, we're going no cue cards. Live. So I want to go back a little bit to, you know, like the fandom side of wrestling. Cause you know, as you said, no matter how involved in the business we are, at the end of the day, we're all still fans. So I want to know a little bit more about maybe, you know, who are some of your favorites? Obviously you mentioned Rey Mysterio before, but who are some of your favorite, you know, wrestlers growing up, favorite current wrestlers, moments, matches, anything that, you know, are kind of personal favorites of yours?
Yeah. So growing up, it's evolved, obviously. Like everybody like you just said, you know, their favorites change. I still have pretty much all my favorites that most of them still wrestle because like I'm pretty young, so like you know, a lot of the wrestlers are still wrestling. It's not like they're retired. So Rey Mysterio was my first favorite just because his look alone, like he was just so captivating, and I just wanted to be Rey Mysterio. And then Randy Orton became my favorite. CM Punk. I liked Zack Ryder when he blew up, and you know, he's another internet guy, you know, making videos and whatnot. So that he's another one that actually inspired me to, you know, do like videos and social media stuff. He definitely changed the game. My current favorites, you know what's funny? I get a lot of flack for this at the school. I like the women's wrestlers a lot, and I'm more like into the women's storylines, especially now. But I always loved the Bella Twins, which I get crap for. Sasha Banks is probably just all around my current favorite wrestler because she's just amazing. I don't know if you guys watched her interview on the Steve Austin network show, but
I didn't. It's on my list.
yeah, it's probably her best interview just because like she just screams confidence, you know, like that. I aspire to get to that level, you know. But yeah, I just love her story, her character, and she's just a great performer. She pretty much has a great match with anybody. So yeah, I would definitely love to like learn from her one day if I get to like WWE or she leaves WWE or something, and just have that opportunity to work with her. But yeah, she's my favorite right now. But yeah, those guys, you know, CM Punk, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, AJ Styles, Seth Rollins. I like those guys, you know, like not the too big guys, but you know, guys that can move around, and you know, guys that I'm like somewhat of a same level size wise. You know, I could always get bigger, but like they're not ginormous human beings like John Cena and Triple H, Big Show, those guys. So, which they're great too, but you know, I like the somewhat smaller guys.
Leroy was talking about that when he was on, you know, more of like you know, not like they're not cruiserweights, but they're like, you know, like kind of leaner guys. They're more like versatile workhorse type dudes that aren't necessarily like jacked to the gills, but can still, you know, put on a clinic in the ring. And yeah, like going back to the women's wrestling thing, I don't think there's any shame in that. I think that the current crop of women between NXT and the main roster, the current crop of women's wrestlers that are in WWE right now, I think it's safe to say it's the best it's ever been.
Right, exactly.
So you should watch, though, if you like women's wrestling, man, you got to get into Joshi. You know, like
dude. So my friend, so I have these friends, Alex, Queen of the Ring, and Kayla. They have like this like Joshi show that like they do on Twitch. So I definitely need to check that out. Because like I always see it on my timeline, so I definitely need to check it out. If you have any specific matches.
Yeah, I got a few in mind. I'll link you to them. But yeah, it's just
definitely
like you see these like it's so funny watching Joshi because it's like the you know the girls come out and they wear these cute like you know like pop idol like princess outfits, like so tiny. And then they go into the ring and just fucking murder each other. Like it's some of the hardest hitting wrestling you'll ever see. Like regardless of like men's or women's, like, and it's nuts. But yeah, Stardom in particular has really blown up like these last few years. Obviously, that gave us, you know, Kairi Sane. She was Hojo back then, and you know, Io Shirai and all those. You know, some more names that, you know, so WWE does definitely have an eye on that. Cool. My last question for you before we move into the fan questions is Um, what what are your thoughts as both a wrestling fan and a Spider-Man fan? What are your thoughts on the Macho Man Randy Savage's appearance in the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man?
Dude,
How would you, if you were Dave Meltzer, how would you rate that match?
I would rate that match definitely 6 stars because it was just crazy. Best cage match of all time by far.
Great.
But I know Chris mentioned this, but we recreated that that whole scene, and it's on TikTok. And I think I uploaded on my YouTube channel. So yeah, we recreated that whole thing. Like it was like a whole like production. Like I was telling him and all the other guys like where to be and positioning, and we'd watch the clip. Yeah, I love that scene, like in particular, just because, you know, I'm a wrestler and I love Spider-Man. But it's funny, when I first watched it, obviously I wasn't into wrestling. Like I loved Spider-Man since I was like a little kid. Like my first like memory is just Spider-Man that I can think of. He's in the background right here. So, you know, I love Spider-Man. And so I've seen that movie probably like 100 times, probably over 100 times. And I never knew it was like Macho Man until like probably like later on, until I was like a wrestling fan. Like not even right when I was a wrestling fan, because I didn't know Macho Man right away when I started watching wrestling. Like it took me, you know, looking back at old clips and whatnot and seeing the older guys. And then finally one day I just watched it and I was like, oh my God, it's freaking Macho Man Randy Savage. I never knew that. So yeah, it's pretty cool that he was a part of that. So
I think you definitely need to make 3 minutes of playtime your catchphrase when you transition into
maybe I'll work it in there. Maybe I would. They actually I don't know who, but someone put that on Pro Wrestling Tees. I don't know. I'm guessing it's like Macho Man store or something, but that T-shirt is like on Pro Wrestling Tees, and I need to get it because that's hilarious.
That's outstanding. Yeah, that's awesome. Do you have a favorite like Spider-Man villain? I always thought Spider-Man had some great villains.
Yeah, I love the Green Goblin. Not just from, you know, the Tobey Maguire movie, which a lot of people give flack for his outfit. I've always loved it. I don't know if it's just because it's nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
But I like how that looks. If I do eventually, because I want a bunch of different gears and, you know, different like superhero gears. I would love to have like that specific Green Goblin like armor type like suit or like gear. So yeah, I love Green Goblin. And I like Doc Ock. But yeah, I'd say Green Goblin. Venom's awesome also. Carnage is up there. So yeah, those guys. Those are probably just some, but I mean they're all great. So
awesome. Cool. Nick, do you have any follow-up questions before we get into our fan submitted questions?
Least favorite wrestling drill to run or to do?
Least favorite wrestling drill? It's so there's two that really suck. One is I forgot what it was called, but like Randy has us like in the ring and we start off, we're like on our like elbows and we have to like roll and like jump over each other. I'm blanking right now, but we like someone starts in the middle, then they roll to their left and the person on the left has to jump over them and then roll, and the person on the right then has to jump over, you know, so it's like it's like going in like a motion constantly. So yeah, those are rough. And then there's this other one we like pin each other, but he has us like run all the way from like the outside of the hallway, and it's like a big like Royal Rumble run, and we just like run all the way in and pin the guy. So yeah, those are two definitely come to mind, like cardio wise, that definitely suck. Yeah, they're fun but rough.
I got
Especially
you.
because we have to wear masks now, like in the gym. So especially when we're wearing masks, oh my God, that's rough.
I can imagine. I'd have to trade it. My MMA gym with masks now, and it's brutal.
Yeah.
A whole other layer to it. It makes it, when you finally are in the ring, I'm sure it's going to make it that much easier.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it definitely helps like your cardio and like breathing, like having the mask on. I mean, there's definitely moments where I just have to like pull it and just like, and then put it back on. But yeah, it's definitely helps, but it's sucks.
Anyway, so going right along into fan questions, we have a few.
All right, I got fans.
From Fired Stars. What's it like being a ref? And since you kind of touched upon this, if you want to put like a 5-word phrase into the best way you could describe what it's like being a ref.
5 words.
Listen.
I don't know if exactly I could put it into 5 words, but I'll just pretty much just say it's not as easy as it may look. Like you just see the ref like just standing there and counting 1, 2, 3. But there's a lot more to that. Like refs have to pretty much memorize the whole match or like the key points, especially like in like tag matches. And that just goes back to like aspects of between being a ref and a wrestler. Like if you can learn that as being a ref, then it'll be so much easier when you're a wrestler. So yeah, you have to memorize, timing, quick on your feet, and know the rules, because I've definitely made some mistakes, especially at your shows, where like you think like you think you know what to do, and then it happens and you're just like, what do I do? So especially as a new ref, but yeah, it's challenging it's not as easy as people think, for sure.
We have that. Definitely feel that. It's a lot to take into consideration, especially with a live audience, like people see on all those things. So I totally get it.
Yep.
This is from Davin GL1234.
Oh boy.
I take it you know this person then. Okay,
I do. I know him very well.
He goes, how about you lose the stripes and we finally handle some business? From Glitch. Yeah.
So real quick, and just in case nobody knows, so his name's Davin, actually. He's actually in some of my videos. Like if you go back a long time ago, he's in some of my videos, and he's my best friend. We grew up together. And he actually started training at Team 3D at the same time as me, but then he moved to Florida and he trains with Devon now. So yeah, and his whole gimmick, or it's not him, he claims it's a different person inside him, Glitch. So he's been hounding me for years wanting this match, and so eventually I'm gonna beat his ass and Glitch's ass, whoever he decides to show up as when we step into the ring. I don't know, maybe if he decides to come over here, or you guys end up having a show in Florida ever.
I do like warm weather, so
yeah,
we might have to.
Down the line, this match will happen, and I will beat his ass for sure.
No, I definitely do. Well, okay, now that I know that,
There's a story definitely there. For
I was
sure.
about to say, I'm already hooked. Like, I'm already looped.
Yeah, there's a story there for sure. We'd make it interesting.
Right. So the next question is from Aaliyah Punk 5. There's a lot of numbers there. Well, 5, a lot of numbers. Why do you like Sasha Banks?
Why do I like Sasha Banks? So like I said before, she's just all around a great performer. And she just really knows her character. She knows pretty much every aspect of the business. Like she was a super fan, just like I was. So I relate to that. She's just super cool. I've met her several times. I've had the privilege as a fan to get to talk to her, and she's just such a chill person. So yeah, I don't know, just from like a personal level of like meeting her, I've grown to like her even more. And then I've always liked her as a wrestler. It really started, for most people, it started her TakeOver Brooklyn match with Bailey a while ago. That was pretty much when I got into her a lot, because back then, the Bellas were still there. So they were like, I was always keen on them. But once I saw Sasha Banks and she was killing, I was like, wow, she's really, really good. So, yeah, I've liked her for pretty much since she blew up on NXT.
Oh yeah. Hey, sometimes you just kind of have that weird draw to like someone's personality, or just the way they carry themselves to the ring or whatever. I totally get it. Sometimes it's like you can't even put like a exact word to describe it. You're just like kind of just drawn to their aura,
right,
kind of thing.
And a lot of guys just like the girls just because they're just attractive, which a lot of them are. Sasha Banks is pretty attractive, but that's not what like drew me. It was everything. Like she's just all around amazing.
Oh, I totally get it. No, absolutely.
Right.
There's a lot of like you can also just tell like there's a level of care that they put into like passion that they put behind a lot of it. That's very
right.
That's intoxicating. When people care about what they do, you are naturally drawn to that.
Right.
So yeah, awesome. This next question comes from Matt Paolini. He asks John's brother. He asks favorite wrestler from Invictus. It's the first question. Favorite wrestler from WWE of all time, and favorite NXT superstar of all time.
Okay. So Invictus, gotta go with my boy Gio, the stud. You guys had him on the show. Yeah, Gio's great. Obviously, I've trained with Gio. Yeah, he's just great. Not so much of a fan of that Chris guy. Slap, whatever that is. He tends to get in my face every show as a ref. I don't know what his deal is. He threw me out of the ring actually once, so that was nice. We don't got to talk about him.
When we had him on the show, he referred to you as a what did he say? A Gen Z Sour Patch Kid?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what his deal is with the Sour Patch Kid thing. He started calling. I mean, I was eating Sour Patch Kids on the road once. Like we were driving to, I think, a House of Hardcore show, and we went into like a 7-Eleven or whatever, and I grabbed some. And I think that's where it came from, but he's just like, yeah, you look like a Sour Patch Kid nerd. So yeah, I don't know. He's something else for sure. But yeah, as far as my favorite in Invictus, it's definitely Gio. He's great. In WWE all time, definitely CM Punk. I obviously doesn't wrestle anymore. I wish he would come back, but yeah, CM Punk. And then in NXT, of all time, we'll go with Sasha Banks because she was in NXT. So go with her.
Final question from the man himself. #MCM.
Oh.
Question for TKO. How many ticks can a TikTok tick if a TikTok could TikToks? He follows it up with, I don't care, hashtag beat it nerd, hashtag slap him. And then he does this emoji and then the elbow emoji.
Yeah, that's another thing. I tend to be the punching bag of the school. So when it comes time for me to actually get into the ring, I'm definitely gonna let off a lot of rage on these guys that go to the school, for sure. And that's definitely one of the running things that goes around is that I make TikToks and whatnot, but it's content, baby. You got to make that content. You got to get your name out there. If I blow up on TikTok, then everybody's gonna know who TKO is, and they're gonna want to buy my shirt and all this that.
Because then your rate will go significantly up, so we cannot let that happen.
Oh, okay. Well,
now I really want to.
I'll give you guys a great discount.
You gotta be locked in.
We're not there yet, so.
Now I really want to have you do the quiet kid in class gimmick where you just sit in the corner with your hood up and then the bell rings and you just go full death match on their asses, hit them with light tubes and shit.
I mean, we'll see.
I do think that would be funny.
Mind smashing a light tube over Chris's head. That would be fun.
I was going to say, with Chris and you, we either have to do a best of 7 series or we have to do a 60-minute Iron Man match just for you guys to get it all out in the open.
I don't know. We'll see.
We got time.
We've wrestled before. Actually, we've wrestled at wrestling school. So he's definitely tough. So yeah, that would be fun. We'll see.
Does he actually take Cialis? I need to know.
Does he actually take Cialis? I don't know what he does. He all I know that he does is call me a nerd and just bully me at wrestling school. So I don't know. I mean, for all I know, I don't know what he does.
So that concludes our fan questions. Thank you to everyone who submitted questions. Thank you, TKO, for the awesome responses. And Alex, it's back to you.
Yeah, I got some more fan questions from Facebook and Twitter.
Let's go. Let's get it.
From Joe Grimont, Joey G, who is actually interviewing MCM as we speak for his podcast.
Should be interesting. I saw Chris post about that, and I said I'm recording mine tonight too, and he just said tremendous or something like that, whatever he says.
Yeah. So Joe Grimont asked, how did it feel refereeing for Invictus Pro Wrestling's first ever show? And what was your thought rolling up to the show and seeing it on a farm?
Yeah, that first show was definitely interesting. Like I said, it was my first time back as far as at a show, reffing in over a year. So it was pretty much starting over again. Of course, I've had experience at training, but doing it in front of the boys, just reffing, just is completely different than reffing at a whole on show, because you got to worry about the cameras and making sure you're not in the way of the people around the ring, taking pictures and whatnot. So yeah, I was definitely a little nervous, but I was excited because it was my first wrestling show back, and it was great. It was a great experience. As far as the venue though, that was interesting, to say the least. When we pulled up, at first we pulled up to this house. I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
We pulled up to the house and we're where's the ring? And then they pull us over. And they're no, it's in the way back. And we start driving. We're what is this place? And we just see this big farm and a bunch of hay barrels. And we're okay, this is interesting. Yeah, I mean, it was a great experience though. Crowd was great, and had a good time. I just didn't like the flies. That was bothering me. I was constantly swatting my face. I was ugh, because I don't know. Flies tend to fly around me, and I'm not a dirty person. I don't know why they just.
No, it was because
they tend to fly my eye though. That's the main area. I'm just so self-conscious about that.
Because there were piles of shit everywhere. That's why.
That's true too. There were piles of shit that I jumped over. I forgot about that.
Shit added character to it. It made it feel kind
It
of.
was character for sure. Yeah.
It made it feel dangerous.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
were
We
the-
made it work though.
Yeah, no, it was a good time, and you know, I like to think we've only gone up from there. Humble
For
vegan.
sure. Oh yeah.
Or-
Every single show you guys had has just been next level. So
Yeah, man, we got some
only
big stuff
continuing to
lined up-
build.
Big stuff lined up for April as well, so be on the lookout for that. My next question, we're moving over to Twitter now, comes from Brittany Sacco. Did I say her last name right?
Yeah, Sacco, yeah.
Hey Tyler, big fan, big fan. If you had to choose someone to go against for your first match, who would it be and why? From your bestie Brit.
Yes, she's also been on my channel before, Brittany Sacco. She's amazing. First match. Well, you guys really want me to face John as my first match. So, and I would love to just rip his beard off or like just have some like hair match just so I can like shave his scraggly hair.
We got to save that for Clipper though.
Maybe if I beat John, Clipper can be the one, and I'll just hold him down. You know, like how
Okay.
at WrestleMania 23, you know, Vince McMahon was getting held down.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then, yeah, so I'll hold him down. I'll maybe put the shaving cream on. Clipper can cut his hair. So yeah, definitely John. I would if he's one of my first, that'd be great. Beat him up or Chris. There's definitely a story there. Gio and I barely really got in the ring, even at training. So that would be fun to face him. Yeah, pretty much anybody at Invictus, but yeah, those guys in particular. And then, like I said, if as people I want to face in like WWE though, I would love to get in there with Seth Rollins because he's been one of my favorites. I would love to keep going back to Sasha Banks, but somehow I would love to have a match with her, whether we're like tagging or, you know, she had a match with Reginald, you know, so she's down to, you know, kick it with the guys. So I don't know if she said first match though, right?
Yeah. So I guess.
Right. So, yeah. So if I were to have my first match in like WWE though, if I were to ever get there, those would be the guys that I would want to face first. But yeah, obviously though, I'm probably gonna start in Invictus. You know, that's where I'm starting. Hopefully. So yeah, those guys, John, Chris, or Gio. I would love to get in there first with them.
Hell yeah. And it's funny you mentioned Seth Rollins because, you know, he runs a wrestling school, Black and Red Academy out in Iowa. And, you know, his students are doing some big things on the indies. So I would love to bring in some of them. So could be a good practice for you.
Yeah.
If
You never know. Maybe I can I'll face one of them. They could teach me a thing or two that the man teach them.
Yeah. The last question from Twitter, and I was surprised to see this because he never submits questions. It comes from Wrecking Ball Legursky, who simply asked, "Why?"
Why? Oh man!
By the way,
he's a character. That's all I'll say. I don't know why. I question why for a lot of things he does. So
there you go.
Well,
he's great.
Yeah, no, great dude. So that's all we got for our questions. So we'll move right along into our reaction segment of the week. Welcome back, folks. We are now moving into our reaction segment of the day.
Oh boy.
As we spoke about earlier, Tyler is a very prolific YouTuber. So for this reaction segment of the week, whatever you want to call it, we figured it would be most appropriate for us to go back in the archives a little bit and take a look at some of your early work.
Oh boy.
So I just, I'll share my screen here very quickly.
Okay.
So yeah, so I while the recording was paused just now, I went back, scrolled all the way down to the bottom of your video list on your channel. So I think I want to look at this first one, if that's all right with you, just because it's kind of
Most
short.
like, yeah.
It's kind of short.
So before you play this,
Yeah.
I thought, so obviously this is my first YouTube video.
Yeah.
And I would do like these short little videos, like even if you see like the Christmas presents thing, like
Yeah.
these were all little like clips I would make for my like Facebook, because that's where I like first started posting videos on.
Okay.
And I would just post these like small little clips. Like I would even do like small little vlogs, like, and they weren't like edited. It was just one little like 30-second clip, and I would just post it. So this is just like one of those things. I was just showing my video game off, and then I was like, oh well, I guess I could just post it on YouTube, I guess. So,
Got you. Okay. Well,
and then it started from there.
let's take a look at a WWE 2K15 unboxing.
It's a great thumbnail, by the way. Just
It is a great thumbnail. I'm gonna full screen this shit.
screen grab.
Hello, guys. I don't know if this is going on Facebook or YouTube or whatever.
See.
But, it's right now. So today.
Wait, I just want to pause and point out the fact that even though obviously your face, you have a beard and your voice has gotten a bit deeper, your wardrobe has like more or less remained the same.
You know what's funny? Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Would you wait 1 second?
Oh God, I'm scared.
So that lovely T-shirt that I have on, I still have it,
Oh, Jesus.
Nice.
and it was in my washer, and I didn't know you were gonna show me this, or my washer. It was in my like clean clothes, so it's a little wrinkly, but yeah, still have it.
Does it
It's a
still
little,
fit, or is that
it's a
just
li- it's a
really
little washed. Oh yeah, it fits. Yeah,
nice?
it fits.
Good shit.
I'm not gonna put it on because I have my sweatshirt on, but
Yeah, no, I feel you.
it fits.
All right, let's see what we
Funny,
got.
though.
WWE 2K15 came in the mail, and I'm gonna unbox it right now. But obviously, there's something else in here because this package is pretty fucking big.
Oh, this is whoa. All right, edgelord here.
Mountain Dew here.
I don't have a filter even now. I
Nah,
tried my best on the podcast, but
good shit. All right. Here we go.
quoting Vince McMahon.
That's a huge knife you're using to open that. Damn.
I just use any knife.
Bam, and
Oh, this is making me so nervous. This is like,
come on now. There we go. Okay.
Face of confusion.
I got some mac and cheese, I'm guessing. That's
oh,
what's mostly in here. I don't know why she has
It's just random. I would never upload this now. Like, I would have cut this whole part out.
why she ordered that off Amazon, but anyways. This is what we came for, WK15, motherfucker. Right there. And
wait. So I'm very confused here. So your mom,
Me too.
who ordered it? Who ordered it? Was it?
And obviously, it was my mom.
Wait. So your mom got mac and cheese off Amazon?
I think so. I didn't even know that was a thing back then. Like, obviously now you can do that, but
Did she need to like reach a certain total for like free shipping or something? Like,
I have no idea. I was just as confused as you are. Like when I opened it, and I saw Matt. I'm like, who orders? But like, she goes to the grocery store every week. But I mean, obviously it's a big box. So I don't know.
It reminds me of those like shady like. Do you remember at all when like? So I had like a buddy who ordered like a fake ID from some like really seedy like Chinese website, and they gave him they shipped him the fake ID, but it was like hidden in a pair of sneakers. And like
Okay.
those are the vibes that I'm getting from this right now. Like,
Yeah, I have no idea. Like, I at first I thought it was like that wasn't it. Like I was like, oh, did I just open the wrong package? And then I lift the box up and I see the video game. I'm like, what the heck? Like, that's so like odd.
Very interesting.
Hop in, shit. And this
Something else random that I shouldn't have opened because it wasn't mine, but I opened it anyways.
I'm gonna open
Well, dude, what is this? 2015 TKO clearly does not give a shit.
Not a
He's
single
opening everything.
Fucking sailor, giant.
Right.
Yes, it is indeed the charger for the laptop. You can see right here. But I'm about to go play the video game because I'm pretty fucking excited. So I'll see you guys later. I hope you like the video. Peace.
Dude, so like then
Peace.
you left us hanging, like you weren't going to show us any gameplay footage.
I'd say, like,
Damn.
Like I said, back then it was just simple to the point, no editing, just straight clips. That was when I was recording then, like I would just do these small little clips on my computer and just upload it right away. But once I got my actual camera, or I use my phone, that's when I started editing videos. So, but back then, like I didn't care. I just uploaded whatever.
Well, this has been our a very interesting but brief reaction segment of the bit. You can subscribe to TKO Kocenko on YouTube.
You don't want to watch any more amazing videos?
Well, we got time to fill. We still got to talk about our news and whatnot.
No, yeah. If you guys want to watch my old cringy videos, subscribe to TKO Kocenko and have a blast.
And subscribe to his OnlyFans too.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about it.
those are where the stripes come off.
But you're not denying that it exists.
Well, I don't post, but I'm not gonna say that I don't have one to subscribe to other people.
Well, all right. So now we're gonna move on to our news.
I can't believe I just said that, but
All right, we are back with our news roundup to discuss all of the latest wacky and wonderful goings on in the world of wrestling. Big thing that's on everyone's minds right now as fans is the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, which took place last night as of this recording. Biggest thing that happened arguably on that show would be The Miz cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase successfully on Drew McIntyre, who had just won the Elimination Chamber match to become the new WWE champion.
When are you cashing that in, TKO?
when am I cashing that in? I don't know. I don't think you're supposed to reveal that, but I don't know. Pretty soon. But yeah, I was just showing it because The Miz signed this a while back. It's a little smudge.
Cool.
Yeah, that was The Miz's autograph right there. I have a bunch, but yeah, because I'm a mark, so that's when I traveled around and with this thing and maybe hit some people over the head with it. But
That gimmick. So what are our thoughts on The Miz's victory? I know the internet was very divided, shall we say.
yeah, I saw it for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. I mean, I'm glad because I know, didn't he cash in at a show and then like he got it back somehow? Because I'm not fully watching, but I watched the pay-per-views and I know he cashed in and then didn't win, but like they gave it back to him, right? And then I guess he cashed in again. I'm glad he didn't lose. He actually won. I don't think he's gonna have the title for long. I feel like somehow Drew's gonna get the title back.
Do you think that's going to happen before Mania?
It'll happen tonight.
Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they announced anything. I was saying that myself. that the Miz might lose it tonight, actually, or trying to see if they posted anything about it. I don't think so.
So I'm probably going to get some flack for this. Even lose my position. It's fine. It's cool. It's my hill to die on. But I'm not a fan of the Miz. I have not been since he's really gone in. Like, I've never gotten the big hype behind him. Like, he's always been kind of a lower mid-card dude to me. I've never seen him as a main event guy. And I have had so many arguments with people about this because, like, I know he's, like, main event in WrestleMania against John Cena and won. You know? There are these couple moments where I'm like, damn, like, I just have never gotten it. That makes sense. So I was kind of like, this is kind of okay. I didn't have a strong feeling about the cash in.
Yeah, like I mean, I feel the same. Like, I haven't been like the biggest Miz fan by any means. Like, I've always, you know, he's been all right, but I've never been like, oh my God, yeah, the Miz. I mean, obviously he's a bad guy anyway, so it's not like you really should feel that way. But yeah, I don't know. I think it was cool, like a cool moment. I'm glad that like they didn't just waste the Money in the Bank. So like as far as that goes, like I think that was great. But yeah, like I mean, it wasn't like I was like jumping up and down, but I thought it was pretty cool, you know, and a lot of people online thought it was really cool. But yeah, I don't see him keeping it very long though.
For me, I think it's like, you know, I like the Miz as a heel. He's good, but I think that the flack that he's getting over this win isn't because then I saw like the counter argument being made like, oh, you know, like, yes, like you're booing the heel, like blah blah blah, like, but that's not the kind of heat that he's getting. It's not like heel heat. It's like it's go away heat, because if you think about it, Drew McIntyre is, you know, he's the first like legitimate, you know, new star that WWE has created in a while. I mean, you know, yeah, they were trying to, you know, establish Roman for years, but he's only just now kind of finally starting to click now that
Right.
You know, so my issue is like, you look at the chamber match last night, with the exception of AJ Styles, that same elimination chamber match could have happened 10 years ago with the guys who were in it. You had what, like Jeff Hardy, Sheamus, Randy Orton. Like, these are all guys that have been in the WWE now like 10 plus years. Kofi Kingston.
Right.
So, you know, it's like, yeah, so Drew wins that only to, you know, be immediately cashed in on by another guy that's been there in the WWE for 10 years. And somebody pointed out, I saw a post that pointed out that this is now him, the Miz winning the title. This now marks the second time that he has been a Grand Slam champion. Like, he's already completed it once and now he's completed it again. Like, there's nothing else for him to do, you know? Like, so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if maybe he loses tonight. It'll be interesting to see what the situation, you know, what the situation is with that title going into Mania. But for me, I don't know. I would much rather see either Drew keep it, or if he was to drop it, if he had to drop it to somebody in a, you know, somebody fresh face, somebody who's ready.
Yeah,
You have to wonder too, with Keith Lee being off TV now, like, you know, how he would have fit into all this.
I don't get that at all, the Keith Lee thing.
COVID.
Yeah, no, literally COVID.
Yeah, was it?
Is
some people are saying it's just because like Vince is just like so like flip side about him. Like, one minute he likes him, one minute he doesn't. I know Mia had it a while back, but I mean, did he get it now? Is that what's going around?
I don't. Well, I know that Mia Yim tested positive, so
Right.
He lives with her. He has to quarantine too.
Oh, okay. Well, guess so.
Yeah, I don't know. another thing that happened in the pay-per-view last night was elsewhere on the card. We had Matt Riddle is the new U.S. champion, the United States champion. Bro. And the interesting thing about this match, obviously, besides the fact that this is now Riddle's first main roster title win, is that there's been a lot of speculation that was done. Lashley dropping the belt was done in order to open him up to face Lesnar at Mania. That's just one of the many sort of speculative things that's being thrown around right now. But yeah, I wanted to see what your guys' thoughts were on that.
You mean Lashley facing Lesnar, correct?
Yeah, what did I say?
No, I just wanted to make sure I got that correct.
Yeah.
That's an awesome match. Doesn't hold up any titles. Puts a big star against a guy who's been around a while. Both guys have been in MMA. Doesn't necessarily hurt Lashley if he loses. I feel like if Brock were to do this against another younger guy, not someone in his mid-40s,
yeah,
it would be a little more like, all right, this guy's really hurting this guy's career. Lashley's literally 44. If you looked him up right now, you'd be shocked at how old he is. He ain't, he's not going to be around too much longer. So I think for him, this is a good payday, probably a good chance to just get some good exposure around him.
Yeah.
I say it's an awesome thing that happens.
Yeah. It's obviously a match, people have been wanting Lashley to have since he came back. So, I'd definitely be interested in it. I think they kind of missed the boat on it. Well, I think they should have done it a while ago, but hey, better late than never, if that's their plans. And, like you said, doesn't hold up any titles. Unless, because I was thinking about this, what if, because Lashley helped The Miz, Lashley's the one that, gets a title opportunity and they do it that way. But, I don't know what they're going to do. But if it's just straight up, just Bobby and Lesnar, no title, I still think, that'd be a pretty decent match for WrestleMania. And, hopefully they beat the crap out of each other.
Oh, yeah.
There will be blood.
Hell yeah. Well, it'll be exciting to see how things go tonight, and then also into the next few months as we go down the road to WrestleMania. You got a lot to look forward to, especially now that it seems all but confirmed that we are going to be getting Edge versus Roman Reigns as well, which should be very interesting.
Spear versus spear.
Spear versus spear. I love those, that weird, hands behind the back, bent over in your face thing that they're doing.
Storytelling, baby.
Yeah. It was like lobbying for apples.
Yeah, I dig it. I like it. That pretty much concludes everything we have to talk about this evening. Before we sign off, TKO, if you have any social media presence that you'd like to plug, speak now, forever hold your peace.
I don't think I'm not that big on social media, so I don't think I have anything.
Oh, yeah?
No. You guys can follow me on. I keep it pretty simple. I try to keep everything the same. So YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Chris's favorite app, TikTok, and I'm actually on Cameo too. I haven't really gotten any bookings, but I'm on Cameo as well. All TKO Kocenko, spelled the same, TKO Kocenko. So just look me up on any of those and you'll find me and give me a follow, and hopefully it's worth the follow because I do my best to entertain you lovely people. So yeah, find me on there. Check me out.
Yeah, as do we. Tyler, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming on the show. For everyone out there watching, this has been another episode of Invictus Invictus Power Hour. I'm Alex Aceta. For Nick Outman and TKO Kocenko, we're signing off. See you guys next week.
What's going on, Rockamaniacs, wrestling fans? I'm the Maroon Goon himself, Machismo Charismo, Bronco Bronson, and I'm here to tell you about the future of Invictus Pro Wrestling. You see, right now, they're going through many different endeavors. You can go on ProWrestlingTees.com and buy all the t-shirts they got that are on sale now for about $20 each. You can also watch their shows that they've done so far. Eruption and November Rain, they're both available on Gumroad for a $9.99 bundle. You get to own both, brother, baby. You better believe it. Woosah!